and the first person alive today that takes advantage of it will become our society's first trillionaire. It could even be one of you watching this video.
Let's go!
Well guys, it looks like I'm going to be retiring because today we're going to find out how to become humanity's first trillionaire, and this is by RealLifeLore. So with that being said, the original link's in the description. Hopefully this is going to be really interesting. I assume, I don't know, because the only, Apple, the company, just became the world's first $1 trillion company. But that's a company, not a person, right? The closest person is the Jeff Bezos from Amazon, who makes, I think I heard he makes like $100 million a day or something. Unfathomable. But, I mean, that's still a long way from a trillionaire, so yeah, I don't know. I do not know what to expect, but anyway, this is by RealLifeLore. Hopefully this is going to be awesome. The original link's in the description, and without any further ado, let's begin.
The wealthiest person in the world has a new face, and his name is Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
what
I say.
With a net worth of $123.6 billion that is increasing all the time, he's on track to becoming the wealthiest person in modern human history. His title of wealthiest person in the world, though, may be broken sometime in the future by an industry that hasn't even really started yet, and by whoever gets heavily involved in
space mining? That's what I'm getting from this. Because I know they talked about mining like asteroids and stuff, because those can supposedly have lots of, I don't know, diamonds, or I don't know what the frig's on them. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this right here.
In this industry first. The industry that I'm talking about is asteroid mining, which has been talked about extensively by people like Neil deGrasse Tyson in video clips like this one.
The first trillionaire there'll ever be is the person who mines asteroids for their natural resources. I'm just saying.
To get a little more detail about why this will be the case, we need to understand why certain asteroids are valuable.
So it might be someone like Elon Musk, right? Because it has to be someone who has a freaking spaceship and stuff to get up there. So maybe Elon Musk. He already is like a billionaire, right? So all he has to do is, just make some spaceships that can go to an asteroid. It's not that unfathomable, I guess.
Take the asteroid belt, for example, located between Mars and Jupiter. There are millions of asteroids located here that are together estimated to be worth over $700 quintillion. That's because several asteroids here contain enormous amounts of raw materials that are very rare back on Earth's surface, like gold, silver, palladium, and perhaps most interestingly, platinum. Just one platinum-rich asteroid could contain more platinum than humanity has ever mined in history, which, if introduced all at once, would almost certainly
yeah, that would crash the value of platinum if you were to introduce it all at once. Because all of a sudden you have an insane amount, so the value would drop, right? So you would have to introduce it really slowly, but still over time the value would drop. And I guess that's the same with all the other things you're mining out there. If there's so much of it, the value, it drops so much, and then it's worth barely anything, so is it even worth going to in the first place? I don't know.
Crash the economic value of platinum. This would, however, greatly reduce the cost of nearly all electronic devices that we use. But it's not just platinum that future space miners will be after. A large asteroid with a diameter of 1 kilometer could contain 2 to 3 times the global production of iron-nickel ore, and the very large asteroid 16 Psyche could satisfy the entire global demand for nickel-iron for several million years. Asteroids like these have the potential to give humanity a
What? Several million years? I think we need to mine these asteroids right now.
Infinite supply of these incredibly valuable raw materials, and the corporations that are providing these infinite supplies will reap the tremendous financial returns. If you start one of these corporations, you may not even have to go as far out as the asteroid belt to find one that's valuable enough. Nearly 15,000 near-Earth asteroids, or NEAs, have been discovered with close orbits to Earth so far.
That doesn't sound good or safe. 15,000 potential life-threatening asteroids are flying around us.
Of these, the most valuable one identified so far is likely 162173 Ryugu, nearly 1 kilometer wide and estimated to be worth nearly $83 billion. This one asteroid is worth about the same as the entire Starbucks corporation is.
Starbucks is worth $83 billion?
And the Japanese government is sending a probe there that will return a valuable sample to Earth in December 20.
Sample? Is the sample just like a little excuse as a way to mine it? Isn't sampling it basically mining, right? So, are they gonna be the first to mine it?
2020. That's because the next time the asteroid will be closest to Earth will be on December 29th, 2020, and then again on June 3rd, 2025. Any company started by anybody manages to get a mining operation set up on it could see profits of tens of billions of dollars. It could be a stepping stone out to the far more valuable asteroids out in the asteroid belt, where there have already been 711 asteroids discovered, estimated to be worth over $100 trillion each, making each
wow
the entire global GDP in 2014. The problem is, we're nowhere near capable of doing anything like this right now.
Yeah, we have to get to Mars first. Once you have a Mars colony set up, like, you know, Elon Musk is planning on doing that, right? I don't know when he's planning on doing it, but it's like within the next 10 years. Once you have a Mars colony set up, at that point you can send, you know, ships out to go and mine, and then when they're done mining, they'll come back to Mars. Something like that. See, that's feasible, but shipping people from Earth to the mine, that's over a year's worth of travel just to get there, right? So that doesn't seem reasonable.
Now, getting anything into space is expensive. This is being improved all the time, but even using the cheapest means right now aboard the new SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket still costs $90 million per launch. There's still the problem of how to actually mine metals on asteroids and bring them back to Earth in an efficient manner. One idea is to simply capture an asteroid with a space vehicle and tow it into a safe orbit above Earth. Once there, mining crews of...
That does not sound no, that's a bad idea. Because what if you miss it, and then it collapses into Earth, and, like, wipes out a country or something, right? Like, that's a bad idea. Don't bring danger that close to home. That's crazy.
Humans and robots would take launches up and establish mining settlements looking for valuable material, and returning ships to Earth would bring those materials back down to be processed in factories and put into manufactured products. The idea of having a 1 kilometer wide asteroid orbiting so close to the Earth
is a horrifying.
Would be unnerving for a lot of people, but it's entirely...
And it would be so large... It's entirely legal because it's in space, right? So there's no, like, laws or whatever up there. You know, something that big, you could probably see it in the air, right? Could you imagine just sitting there and all you see is this massive rock just over your head? And you're like, oh, frig me. Please not be today that it crashes.
Entirely legal for any US citizen to do this right now if they could. Interestingly, the law enables the ownership of resources taken from asteroids, but not the ownership of any actual asteroid as property. That means that if a corporation did...
So you can mine it and take whatever you mine, but you can't actually claim the asteroid for yourself?
Tow an asteroid into orbit around Earth and set up a mining operation there wouldn't be any laws to prevent anybody else from flying up there and setting up their own mining operation too. As resources on Earth become increasingly scarce, though, we'll inevitably one day start to take the almost limitless resources that can be found in asteroids and elsewhere in space more seriously. And the first person alive today that takes advantage of it will become our society's first trillionaire. It could even be one of you watching this video.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna be me. That's for sure. Guess I'm not gonna be retiring anytime soon. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. It's pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And as I was saying that, you know, there's all this unlimited resources out there. Bringing it back would flood the market full of whatever resource it is, and the value would drop down so much that I don't know if it would be worth it. Because it's like the Mona Lisa painting, right? It's worth, I don't know, what, hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's only like one genuine one. Well, could you imagine if Da Vinci was like, alright, screw it, it's worth that much, let's paint 30 of them. All of a sudden there's so many, the value's gonna drop on them. So is it worth going out and mining stuff just to bring it back and then, you know, lose the value of everything you've mined? I don't know. That's up to whoever's gonna frickin' mine them to decide, but that's something to think about. Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you do it, subscribe and join the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to RealLifeLore, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop!